Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're digging into Eric Worre's GoPro. It's a book built on a pretty radical idea. What if network marketing isn't just some side hustle or a lottery ticket, but a real, legitimate profession that you can master with skills? You know that feeling, right? That's the exact feeling this book taps into. It's that deep, nagging sense that the way we've been taught to work just isn't cutting it anymore. In fact, Rory's whole argument is that those old ways are quickly becoming a thing of the past. Okay, so let's dive right in. The book kicks off by basically diagnosing a problem that a lot of us feel but can't always put into words. The old promise of a stable, rewarding career, well, it's broke. Work says most of us are stuck between two bad options. On one hand, you can be an employee where you're dealing with office politics, you hit an income cap, and you ultimately have no control. On the other hand, you can start your own business, but then you're dealing with all the risk, the crazy stress, and you end up being owned by the very thing that was supposed to set you free. And here's the absolute key takeaway. The old deal, trading your time for a paycheck, is disappearing. We're shifting to what Worre calls a performance economy. It means you get paid for what you produce for your results. And yeah, that can be a little scary, but it can also be incredibly freeing. So if the old paths are flawed, what's the answer? The book puts forward network marketing, and Worre is really clear on this point. He's not saying it's a perfect way. He just says it's a better way. Think about the model like this. Instead of a company spending millions on Super Bowl ads, they take that huge pile of cash and redirect it. They pay their own distributors for doing something that's way more powerful anyway, having real, authentic conversations and creating genuine word-of-mouth buzz. But, and this is a big but, here's the catch. Worre is brutally honest about it. He says to make this work, you have to be okay with being misunderstood. People who are still stuck in that old way of thinking might look down on you, and you just have to be willing to push through that. And this brings us to what's really the heart of the book. It's not the business model that guarantees success or failure. It's all about the attitude, the mindset that you bring to the table. It really comes down to your approach. Worre breaks it down into 3 types of people. First, you've got the posers. They treat it like buying a lottery ticket, just hoping to get lucky. Then there are the amateurs. They're always looking for shortcuts, obsessed with luck and timing. But then you have the professionals. They're the ones who treat it like a true craft, and they commit to mastering the skills. So what does it actually mean to be a professional? It's not some vague, fuzzy idea. Worre argues it's a very specific toolkit, a set of 7 core skills that anyone can learn. And this is a huge breakthrough idea, right? He boils this entire, sometimes confusing, profession down to just 7 fundamental skills. The promise is that if you can master these 7 things, you can build a stable, successful, long-term business. And you can see how these create a complete system. It's a repeatable process. You're not just trying to make a sale. You're using a duplicatable method that can take someone from that very first hello all the way to becoming a leader in their own right. Let's make this real. Look at the skill of inviting. Instead of some pushy, awkward pitch, a pro uses this incredibly simple but powerful formula. If I, would you? It's not aggressive. It respects their time, and it puts you in control, not in a position of begging. And see, getting a yes to that first question is just the beginning. A professional immediately follows up with this 4-step confirmation. They don't just leave it to chance. They turn a casual, yeah, sure, into a solid appointment, which makes it way more likely that the person will actually follow through. Okay, so mastering these 7 skills, that's going to take some real work and focus. So why do it? Why go through all that effort? The book ends by painting a very clear picture of the ultimate payoff. I love this part because it's so realistic. To fight that get-rich-quick mentality, Worre lays out this formula to manage your expectations. It treats this like any other serious career. You become competent in a year, you can go full-time in 3, a high earner in 5, and a true expert in 7. It's a journey. And in the end, the ultimate prize is so much bigger than just money. I mean, sure, that's part of it. But the real goal described here is true freedom with your time, building amazing relationships, massive personal growth, and having the resources to actually make a difference for the causes you care about. So GoPro is way more than just a training manual. It's really making a case for a totally different kind of career, one that's built on skill, not on luck. And it leaves all of us with a pretty big question to think about. In a world where the economy is constantly changing, could this better way actually be the future of work?